Welcome to today's Leadership and Transformation Cast. We've been in this series on Good Call, and we started with the idea that God calls us in our baptism, that our very sense of identity is in that created, intentional purpose that God gives to our lives. From there, we moved into clarity, that through that call, we have clarity for our purpose, for our intention, why we are here, and that we are here on purpose and with intention. That clarity leads us to character, allows us to have an integrated life rather than a disintegrated life. And today, as we move from clarity and character, we move into curiosity. From a place of character, curiosity allows us to continue to grow. It gives us all the things that we need in order to seek, in order to challenge, in order to stretch, in order to become. And so, wondering what you are curious about in your life. What are you curious about with others and with the world? What are you curious about in your faith with God, in your beliefs? How will curiosity be a foundational practice for you that you can practice throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout your years? Curiosity is one of those things that breaks us out of our fear cycle. See, in fear, we immediately move into fight, flight, freeze, fawn, all of these psychological and biological responses that we have to fear. And not only biologically, but also in our culture, we are steeped in a deep sense of fear. Usually, we describe it as anxiety in our culture because that is a type of fear. But there's also another side of that that runs through, and that is suspicion. Cultures tend to have a lot of ideas around suspicion about us and them, right? And so suspicious cultures tend to have anxiety, fear around these things that seem to be other, that seem to be different. And so we put up walls around those suspicions, and we remain cautious about different people and different things as a result. Curiosity is the thing that allows us to peer over the wall. It's the thing that allows us to break through the walls. The curiosity allows us to get beyond those walls of suspicion, of anxiety, of fear, and to peek through and go, wait a minute, there is an entire world out here. There's an entire world that God created out here. And I am called to go out into that world. Because of that call, because of that baptismal identity, I can break through my suspicions, my fears into this other word that is the opposite of fear. That word is faith. Curiosity is what propels us into the world and allows us to have the space to have faith and to be faithful. See, when we're living out of our call, we're no longer going, whoa, 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 what should I be afraid of out here? Instead, now we're living inside of that, and that will ultimately lead us to courage, which will be our topic for next week, and then ultimately to confidence about who we are in God. It'll lead us to care and compassion and concern in our world because we'll no longer be worried about our own safety. Instead, we're going to be looking out for the needs, for the longings, for the losses of other folks in our lives. And so curiosity allows us to start asking the right kinds of questions. It allows us to be interested. It allows us to say, oh, that's interesting. It gives us this mindset of, ooh, what's next? Tell me more. And so, my hope is that as you are considering your day, as you're considering your world, your household, your neighborhood, your community, your workplaces, all of those things, that you will begin having that kind of curious mindset that allows us to peer over the walls of suspicion, that allows us to bust through these walls of fear, moves us out of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn and into faith and faithfulness. Thanks for joining me every day today for the Leadership Podcast. I hope you'll join us tomorrow for Pastor Danny's sermon preview and each and every day here for our Daily Faith Challenge. Thanks, everyone.